Hey YouTube, how you freaking doing? Doing a series here on Fall Guys tips and tricks. Today we are going to talk about rock and roll. This team-based game has a little bit of tricks to it, so I'm hoping that this video can be found useful by a couple people. These are just my integral parts of what I think is best for the team effort. But anyway, let's get to rolling the game footage so we can talk about it. All right, guys, this is rock and roll. Basically, gets split up into three teams. The whole lobby gets split up into three teams. You, was talking too fast. Anyway, so we in this particular situation had 15 people, and we get split up into fives. The update introduced these little donut kebabs at the end of all of this, which I thought was a very interesting change of events. Which is really, really good. You'll see that we fight those at one point. But anyway, getting started here, we have 5 people. So in this situation, I would say you definitely want to stay on the ball because there's not many people who are going to be guiding or playing the ball too well. Jumping into the ball on these little lips that are having to go over is huge. All right. Jumping into them gives you a big forceful movement. And I say that you need to do that really well. I'll show on the actual play or the analysis part, I'll show an opportunistic area or opportunistic, way that you would be able to get over these as far as the pathing that you should take or think about taking. But in this, we just have a very strong fight. There are 3 players on blue that decided to jump down, I think, before their ball, which the 50% mark might be. So looking up at the top, they might actually be down at this point. But blue doesn't have too many people fighting their own ball or, helping their own ball. So yellow is over here fighting very hard to get it through. And like I said, jumping into the ball is probably the best. So you can see us jumping and hitting it over the top of their heads for most of that. But before we get into analysis thing, I just want to say, being an offensive player is definitely beneficial and less toxic on this, but at the same time, defense can be very, very, very beneficial for the group's survivability. There was a time where I did a one-man army versus an entire team, just being able to stop it there, and we had like a 20-minute fight, but we eventually won just due to me stopping the ball and making sure that they didn't progress. Okay, so getting into here, like I said, when you go over these first little humps, you want to make sure that you are jumping into the ball just because it helps propagate or boost that ball over the top. So jumping into the ball is much better. Hopefully your team keeps pushing while you're not there. The big lips also need to jump, all that sort of stuff. Now, when you're coming out to these sticks that are like really big donut kebabs, you want to push from the left side of the ball around the right side of that peg. Or, vice versa if you're on the other side from where we're at in this particular scenario. But you want to make sure that you are actually pushing around the post and going from the left side, pushing on the left side to push it around to the right side. But don't keep pushing once you have gotten it passed around the outside. You need to let off the pushing of the ball if you're on the left side of the ball. Like, you're just try to control it as best you can. You want to release from your stuff so your team can push it back left to get it around the post. That's the quickest way that you can do it, and it would be the most beneficial. So continuing on here, we get all the way to the last little lip. And as we get to the last little lip, there is a nice little donut kebab that gets put in here that swipes over, and we get it halfway up, and then it comes and pushes it all the way over, which I thought was very interesting that they put those in there. It makes the rest of this course very interesting on this final, defensive stand type thing. But anyway, as we come over the top here, there are 3 blue players on the map, and that is very rough for blue team because it makes it a lot harder for the people who are up top still trying to get stuff to work. But anyway, as you can see here, as we're fighting, the blue team is trying to defend, but we keep jumping into the ball. We actually have a couple people who are smart enough to understand that when you jump into the ball, you get propagated more or have more force behind it and are able to get it over the tops of your opponents. And that's what you're aiming for when anybody's on this particular scenario. They're trying to make sure that they keep in front of the ball. You just need to keep pushing and jumping into the ball to try and get over the top of them. So jump into the ball. That's pretty much the biggest thing that I can do in this course is anytime that the ball is stopped or has a blockade in front of it. Granted, it's not a stick that's 50 feet high or anything like that, but something that you can actually get the ball over the top of, whether it be an enemy player or those first rounding hills that break up the sections of that first top part of the map. You want to jump into the ball. So run up, push up against the whatever barricade that you're trying to get past, and then jump. All right, so that's on offense, right? Staying on offense and that entire thing. If you do decide to try and go and play defense, the biggest thing that I can give to you is that you want to try and stay in front of the ball as best as possible. So running anything that goes horizontally, that moves the ball left and right instead of trying to go forward or backward is just beneficial to you. You're trying to stall them as best you can. Be very careful when jumping into the ball on defense because you will get knocked over. If you get knocked over, you're basically taking yourself out of the game. And they can just push the ball over the top of you. So don't spam the jump button if you're on defense, but try to be very selective in when you're trying to jump into the ball. If you jump 2 or 3 times into the ball, you're just going to fall over. So maybe hit it once, stay still, wait for the ball, and then jump into it a second time after about a second or two so that your little bean person can stand back up and gain his traction again or his foothold, however you want to express it or whatever. But anyway, I feel like that's mainly the tips that I can give you. Hopefully the one part that has a pathway type thing is you want to move that ball around just the outside of that one little post and then get it right back against the wall, whether that's on the right side or the left side that you're pushing, but just get the ball on a wall, move around that one little post, keep pushing the ball as much as possible, and jump into it a billion times. Anyway, y'all, I feel like that's most of the tips and tricks that I have for this one. I know it's pretty fast and pretty quick, not anything that's too terribly difficult or anything like that. If you have anything else that you want to add, throw down a comment down below that you think is beneficial for anybody watching the video. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this. If you would, leave a like, think about hitting the sub button. That would be great. I'd really appreciate it. I do stream live on Twitch every single day. If you would like to come over there and watch me play / become a part of the community, which we have a really nice one, very welcoming and very nice community. So anyway, you can jump on over there. Link are in the description down below. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. There should be some content popping up if you want to click any of those. Again, really appreciate it. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy your freaking day. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.